The fluorescent lights of room 214 hummed their eternal, indifferent drone as Maya Chen stared at the paper on her desk, her pen frozen mid-sentence. The history lecture about the Cold War droned on, but she wasn't listening. She couldn't, because 3 rows ahead, in the seat by the window, where the afternoon light fell like liquid gold, sat the girl who had transferred in 2 weeks ago and turned Maya's entire world upside down. Her name was Sienna Volkov, and she was unlike anyone Maya had ever met. Sienna never took notes. She just sat there, impossibly still, her silver white hair catching the light from the window like spun moonlight. Her skin had this quality, this subtle luminescence that Maya had noticed the first day when Sienna had walked in and every head in the classroom had turned. Not because she was beautiful, though she was, in an almost unfair way, but because there was something else about her. Something that made the air feel different. Something that made Maya's chest ache in a way she couldn't explain. The professor's voice faded as Maya's thoughts drifted back to that first encounter. Sienna had sat down next to her that morning, chosen the empty seat beside Maya when there were 10 other empty seats in the room, and smiled. Just a small smile, the corners of her lips turning up barely, but it had made Maya's heart stutter. "You're different," Sienna had said, and her voice had carried this strange musical quality, like wind chimes in a summer breeze. "I can feel it." Maya had laughed nervously. That's a weird thing to say to someone you've never met." "I know." Sienna had tilted her head. And her eyes, God, her eyes, they were this extraordinary shade of violet gray, like thunderstorms captured in amber, and she had looked at Maya with an intensity that made Maya feel stripped bare. "But it's true. You're kind. You hold the door for everyone, even people who don't." "Thank you." "You sit with the kid who eats alone at lunch, even though your friends think he's strange." "You." She had paused, seeming to choose her words carefully. "You see people. Most humans don't do that." Maya had never been called out so gently in her life, or so accurately. Now, 3 weeks later, they were something like friends. They studied together in the library. They walked between classes. Sienna had this way of asking questions that made Maya really think about things she'd never considered. Like last Tuesday, when they'd been eating lunch on the quad and Sienna had asked, "What does it feel like to be home?" And Maya had realized she'd never actually asked herself that question before. "Home isn't a place," Sienna had said softly, looking up at the clouds. "For my people, home is a feeling, a resonance. It's the frequency of your heartbeat matching with someone else's." She'd turned to look at Maya then, and her expression had been so wistful, so sad, that Maya had wanted to reach out and comfort her. "I've been searching for that feeling for a very long time. Who are you?" Maya had whispered. Sienna had just smiled. Someone who found what she was looking for. The memory shattered as the girl beside Maya, Jenna, who talked too much and cared too little, leaned over and hissed, "Did you hear? Sienna's weird again. She's been staring at the same spot on the wall for 20 minutes. It's creepy." Maya glanced at Sienna. She was indeed motionless, her violet gray eyes fixed on something only she could see. The skin of her throat had a faint glow, barely perceptible, like bioluminescence in deep water. Maya had noticed this before. Sienna's skin would sometimes shimmer when she was deep in thought or feeling strong emotion. Maya had asked her about it once, and Sienna had just touched her neck and said, "We're made of starlight, Maya. Some of it leaks out." It was the kind of statement that should have been pretentious. But from Sienna, it was just true. The bell rang, shattering the quiet hum of the classroom. Maya gathered her things slowly, her heart hammering for reasons she couldn't name. Sienna was already at her desk, packing her bag with precise, deliberate movements. As Maya stood, their eyes met across the room. Sienna smiled, that small, secret smile that was just for Maya, and something fluttered in Maya's chest. They walked to their next class together, shoulders almost brushing. The autumn wind carried leaves across their path, red and gold and rust, crunching under their feet. Sienna was unusually quiet, her brow slightly furrowed. "What are you thinking about?" Maya asked. Sienna was silent for a long moment. Then she said, "Have you ever felt like you were running out of time?" The question hit Maya like a physical blow. "No, what do you mean?" "I mean exactly what I said." Sienna stopped walking, and Maya stopped with her. The crowd of students flowed around them like water around stones, but Maya was acutely aware of only one person. "Time is strange where I come from. It doesn't flow the same way. Sometimes I feel like I've lived 1,000 years. And sometimes," she pressed her hand to her chest, Sometimes I feel like I only have moments left. That's terrifying. Maya breathed. It's not. Sienna's smile was gentle, sad, beautiful. It's liberating. It means every second matters. Every word. Every look. She reached out and touched Maya's hand just for a moment, her fingers cool and electric, and Maya felt something like a current pass between them. That's why I don't waste time on things that don't matter, on people who don't see me. Her eyes held Maya's, on feelings I'm afraid to feel. Maya's mouth went dry. But Sienna was already walking away, her silver hair flowing behind her like a comet's tail. Come on, she called over her shoulder. We'll be late. The rest of the day passed in a haze. Maya couldn't focus on anything. Her notes were illegible scribbles. Her thoughts kept circling back to Sienna's words, to the way she'd looked at Maya, to the electricity of that brief touch. By the time the final bell rang, Maya was a mess of confused, fluttering feelings she couldn't name. She found Sienna at her locker, packing away books with that same precise care she applied to everything. The hallway was nearly empty, echoing with the sound of lockers slamming and distant footsteps. Sienna. Maya's voice came out louder than intended. We need to talk. Sienna turned slowly. Her expression was carefully neutral, but there was something in her eyes, a flicker of something raw and vulnerable that vanished before Maya could name it. We do? Everything you said today. About time. About running out of it. Maya stepped closer, her heart pounding against her ribs. What are you not telling me? For a long moment, Sienna said nothing. Then she closed her locker and leaned against it, looking at Maya with an expression that was simultaneously the most open and most guarded thing Maya had ever seen. I have 3 days left, she said quietly. The words didn't make sense. Maya's brain refused to process them. 3 days until what? Until I have to go home. Sienna's voice was steady, but her hands, Maya noticed, were trembling slightly. My ship is returning to the fleet. I've been here too long as it is. Ship, fleet. Maya's mind grasped at the words, trying to make them fit into a framework that made sense. Your family is visiting? They have a boat? Maya. Sienna reached out and cupped Maya's face in her hands, and the touch was electric, warm, real. I'm not from here. I'm not human. Her thumbs brushed Maya's cheeks, gentle as butterfly wings. I'm from a planet you wouldn't find on any map. I came here on a ship that looks like a star when it moves. And I've been on Earth for exactly 93 days, which is 92 days longer than I was supposed to stay. She smiled, and there were tears in her eyes, tears that caught the light and glowed like tiny diamonds. I stayed because of you. Maya couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. The fluorescent lights of the hallway buzzed overhead, indifferent and eternal, while the girl she had fallen for without even realizing it, told her she was from the stars. Maya's voice cracked. You're alien. I'm Sienna. The words were simple, achingly simple. I'm the person who sits next to you in history class. I'm the one who thinks your laugh is the most beautiful sound on this planet. I'm the one who, she stopped, swallowing hard. I'm the one who loves watching you see the world, like it's still full of wonder, like people are still worth believing in. This isn't real, Maya whispered, but even as she said it, she knew it was the most real thing she'd ever experienced. It is. Sienna pressed her forehead to Maya's, and her skin was warm, luminescent, alive. I know it's a lot. I know I should have told you sooner, but I didn't want you to look at me differently. I wanted to be just Sienna, just someone who gets to be near you. Maya closed her eyes. The touch, the presence, the warmth, it all felt human. It felt like Sienna. What happens in 3 days? Sienna's breath caught. I leave. We jump to light speed, and by your calendar, I'll be gone for what feels like moments but is actually years. Decades maybe. Her voice was barely a whisper. I won't be back. Not in any time frame that would matter. Not to you. The world tilted. Maya grabbed Sienna's wrists, holding on like she was afraid Sienna would disappear right there in the hallway. Then why did you stay? Why tell me any of this now? Because I couldn't leave without you knowing. Sienna pulled back just enough to look into Maya's eyes. Because you deserve to know that you mattered. That you changed someone. That in all the infinite places I could have been, ending up in this classroom, sitting next to you, was the best thing that ever happened to me. A sob escaped Maya before she could stop it. This isn't fair. No, Sienna agreed softly. It isn't. They stood there in the empty hallway, wrapped in a silence that was heavy with everything unsaid. Outside the windows, The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and rose and violet, the same color as Sienna's eyes. Maya realized. Everything was the same color as Sienna's eyes. I have something to show you, Sienna said finally. Tonight, at midnight, meet me at the bleachers behind the football field. What is it? Sienna smiled, that small, secret smile that was just for Maya, and said, something I've been saving. For the right person. For you. The hours between then and midnight stretched like taffy. Maya couldn't eat. She couldn't study. She just paced her room, replaying every conversation, every moment, every look. Sienna was alien. Sienna was leaving. Sienna loved watching her see the world. By 11:30, Maya was walking to the football field, her breath fogging in the cool October air. The bleachers loomed dark against the sky, skeletal and silent. She climbed to the top row and sat, her legs dangling over the edge, and waited. Midnight came. And with it, Sienna. She appeared out of nowhere. One moment the bleachers were empty. The next she was there, standing at the edge of the field like she'd risen from the earth itself. But she wasn't alone. Something was with her. Something that made Maya's breath catch in her throat. It was a small creature, no bigger than a basketball, floating beside Sienna like an orbiting moon. It was made of light, a soft, blue-white glow that pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Its shape was difficult to define, constantly shifting, like looking at smoke given form and purpose. This is Kira, Sienna said, climbing up to sit beside Maya. The creature drifted after her, hovering nearby. She's my companion, my ship, my family. Really, your ship, Maya repeated, staring at the floating ball of light. Our people don't travel alone. Kira is connected to me, mind, body, and soul. She keeps me anchored. Without her, I'd be lost in the void. Sienna reached out, and the creature floated closer, pressing against her palm like a cat seeking affection. She's been waiting to meet you. Me? She's been watching you through my eyes, through my heart. Sienna's voice was soft. She wanted to know who made me stay, who made me break protocol, risk everything, just to spend more time with a human girl who holds doors for strangers and sits with the lonely kids. Maya felt tears prick her eyes. What happens if you don't go back? Sienna was quiet for a long moment. Then I become untethered. Without the fleet, without my people, I'd eventually fade. Kira would dim, and I'd cease to exist in any meaningful way. That's not fair. Maya's voice broke. None of this is fair. Life rarely is. Sienna reached over and took Maya's hand, interlacing their fingers. Her skin was warm, electric, alive. But I don't regret it. Not one moment. Not 1 second. The floating creature Kira drifted closer to Maya, and she felt a warmth emanating from it, like standing in a patch of sunlight. Something shifted in her chest, a loosening, a recognition. She likes you, Sienna laughed softly. She doesn't like anyone. I don't understand, Maya whispered. Any of this. You, her, the way I feel when I'm with you. What do you feel? Sienna asked, her voice barely audible. Maya turned to look at her. In the moonlight, Sienna's skin glowed faintly, her silver hair flowing like water, her violet-gray eyes holding secrets from 1,000 stars. She was beautiful. She was otherworldly. She was impossible, and Maya loved her. I feel like I'm finally home, Maya said. Like I've been searching for something my whole life and didn't even know it until you sat down next to me in that stupid classroom and ruined my life in the best way possible. Sienna's breath caught. Her eyes widened, and tears spilled down her cheeks, catching the light like liquid stardust. Maya, I know. I know you're leaving. I know this is insane. I know you're from another planet, and your ship's a ball of light, and none of this should make sense. Maya grabbed Sienna's face, mirroring the earlier gesture, holding her like she was the most precious thing in the universe. But I don't care. I don't care about any of it. I just care about you. The kiss was inevitable. It was like coming home after a long journey, like taking a breath after being underwater, like every love song Maya had ever heard condensed into a single, perfect moment. Sienna's lips were soft, warm, tasting faintly of something sweet and unfamiliar like starlight, if starlight had a flavor. The creature Kira pulsed brighter, bathing them in soft blue light, and somewhere in the distance, an owl hooted, and the world kept turning, indifferent and eternal, when they finally pulled apart. Sienna was laughing and crying at the same time. That was, yeah, Maya agreed. It was. They sat together on the bleachers until dawn, wrapped in each other's arms, talking about everything and nothing. Sienna told her about her planet, a world of floating islands and bioluminescent forests, where the sky shifted through colors humans had no names for. She told Maya about her people, the Velikari, who lived in resonance with each other, whose emotions created visible light, whose connections could span galaxies. We can feel each other, Sienna explained, tracing patterns on Maya's palm. When we're bonded, truly bonded, we can sense each other's emotions across any distance. It's why my people rarely travel alone. The connection is everything. Will you feel me? Maya asked quietly. When you leave? Sienna's expression faltered. I don't know. The distance is significant, but I'll try. Every day, I'll reach across the void and try to feel your heartbeat. And maybe, if the universe is kind, some part of you will reach back. That's not comforting. No, Sienna admitted. But it's honest. And you deserve honesty. The sun was fully risen now, painting the football field in shades of gold and green. Students would be arriving soon for early morning practices. They couldn't stay here forever. I have an idea, Maya said suddenly. A crazy idea. Sienna raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. What if I came with you? Sienna went very still. Maya. I know, it sounds insane. I'm human. I don't have spaceship DNA. I can barely survive a flu season. Maya was talking fast now, the words tumbling out like water through a broken dam. But maybe there's a way. Maybe Kira could. I don't know, adapt me? Or teach me? Or something. I don't want to lose you. I just found you. I can't just let you go. Maya. Sienna's voice was gentle but firm. It's not possible. The journey alone would kill you. Your body isn't designed for faster than light transit. And even if it were, you'd never see Earth again. Your family, your friends, your entire life, I don't care. The words came out louder than Maya intended, echoing across the empty field. None of it matters without you. Don't you understand? You made me feel seen. You made me feel like maybe, just maybe, there was something more out there than just going through the motions. You made me believe in wonder again. Maya's tears were flowing freely now. If I have to choose between a life without you and a life that's short and impossible and terrifying, I'll choose you. Every time. I'll always choose you. Sienna stared at her for a long silent moment. Then she pulled Maya into her arms and held her tight, her body shaking with sobs. You beautiful, stupid, impossible human, she whispered. What have you done to me? They stayed like that until the first students arrived. Their embrace, a small island of peace in an indifferent world. The next 3 days passed in a blur of stolen moments and whispered promises. Maya told her parents she was staying with a friend. She skipped classes and spent every waking hour with Sienna, learning about the Velikari, about their culture, their history, their gentle way of seeing the universe. Kira remained nearby, watching Maya with what Sienna assured her was curiosity and approval. On the second night, Sienna showed Maya something she'd never shared with anyone else, her ability. She could see resonances, the invisible threads that connected living things to each other. When she touched Maya's hand, Maya could see it too, just for a moment, a golden thread stretching between them, pulsing with warmth and life and love. That's what we have, Sienna said softly. That's what I'll carry with me across the stars. On the third night, the last night, Maya brought Sienna to the rooftop of her apartment building. The city sprawled beneath them, a tapestry of lights and shadows, and above, the stars burned cold and bright. Which one is your home? Maya asked. Sienna pointed to a small cluster of stars near the horizon. That one. You can't see it from here, but if you were on the far side of your moon, looking back, you'd see it. It's blue and green and silver, like your Earth, but smaller. Floating islands in purple oceans. Bioluminescent forests that sing when the wind blows through them. It sounds beautiful. It is. Sienna's voice was wistful, but it was always missing something. Missing someone. Maya took her hand. What now? Sienna turned to face her. In the starlight, she was radiant, ethereal, heartbreakingly beautiful. Kira has been running calculations. The fleet will be here in 6 hours. There's a small pod that can accommodate 1 additional passenger for emergencies only. She paused, her expression unreadable. I talked to them. I requested special dispensation. For you. Maya's heart stopped. And they said no, of course. Protocol is absolute. The fleet can't risk a human consciousness trying to process faster than light transition. It would destroy your mind. Sienna's smile was sad but gentle. But I told them I wasn't asking. I told them I was going to stay. That if they wanted me back, they'd have to take you too. All of me, or none of me. Maya stared at her. Sienna, you didn't. I did. Sienna's eyes were bright with tears. I told them I found my resonance, my home, and I wasn't leaving it behind. The words hung in the air between them, impossible and beautiful. Kira drifted closer, pulsing with soft blue light, and Maya felt something shift in her chest, a warmth, a recognition. Like a door opening that had always been locked. There might be a way, Sienna said slowly. Kira has been studying your biology, your neural patterns. She thinks she can create a temporary shield, a cocoon, something that could protect your mind during transit. It would be painful, dangerous, and it's never been tried before. Will it work? I don't know. Sienna's voice cracked. The chances are uncertain, but if it doesn't work, then I'll die having tried. Maya squeezed her hand. Sienna, I've spent my whole life playing it safe, following the rules, being the good girl who doesn't make waves. And I've been miserable. Completely, utterly miserable. She cupped Sienna's face in her hands. You showed me what it means to feel alive, to believe in something bigger than yourself. I don't want to go back to who I was. I can't. Sienna's resolve crumbled. She pulled Maya into a fierce, desperate kiss, and when they finally broke apart, she was laughing and crying and holding on like Maya was the only solid thing in a universe of stars. Okay, she whispered. Okay, we'll do it together. Whatever happens. Dawn broke over the city, painting the sky in shades of rose and gold. Maya stood at the edge of the rooftop, Sienna's hand in hers, watching the sky for any sign of Kira's fleet. The morning air was cool, crisp, alive with possibility. Any second now, Sienna said, and then the sky split open. It wasn't violent, not like Maya expected. It was gentle, almost reverent. A tear in the fabric of reality, shimmering with colors that had no names, that human eyes weren't meant to see. A ship descended from the light, but it wasn't like any ship Maya had imagined. It was organic, almost, like a living thing made of starlight and crystal, pulsing with the same soft blue glow as Kira. This is it, Sienna breathed. The ship's door opened, revealing a ramp that descended to the rooftop. Two figures stood in the entrance, tall, graceful, with the same luminescent skin and silver hair as Sienna. Their eyes were kind but grave. They're giving us a choice, Sienna said. They'll let you come, but if you don't survive transit, they'll scatter your essence across the stars, part of this universe forever, connected to me always. Or you can stay here, and I'll go, and we'll never. I choose you. Maya didn't hesitate. I choose you. Whatever happens, I choose you. Sienna's smile was like sunrise, like hope, like every good thing Maya had ever hoped for, but never believed existed. They walked up the ramp together, hand in hand. The figures inside stepped aside, welcoming them with gentle nods. Kira drifted ahead, merging with the ship's core, and the walls around them began to glow with soft, pulsing light. Here, one of the Velikari said, handing Maya a small crystalline device. Hold this. Kira will guide you. The transition will be intense. Maya looked at Sienna, who was watching her with an expression of such profound love and terror that it made Maya's heart ache. Remember what I told you, Sienna whispered. About home. About resonance. We're going to find ours together. The ship began to hum, the light growing brighter, and Maya felt a warmth spreading through her body, starting at her chest and radiating outward. She grabbed Sienna's hand and held on. The last thing she saw before the light consumed everything was Sienna's smile, so bright, so beautiful, so full of hope, and then the world became starlight. Maya opened her eyes to a sky of impossible colors, shifting shades of violet and gold and silver, like the aurora borealis, given form and permanence. The air was sweet, carrying scents she couldn't name, and somewhere nearby, something was singing a haunting, beautiful melody that seemed to resonate in her bones. She was lying on soft, moss-like ground, and beside her, propped up on one elbow, was Sienna, watching her with an expression of wonder and relief. Welcome home, Sienna whispered. Maya sat up slowly. Her body felt different, lighter somehow, like gravity had less purchase on her. She looked down at her hands and saw that her skin had a faint, soft glow, barely perceptible, but undeniably there. What? The transition worked. Sienna was crying and laughing at the same time. Kira adapted you. Your body, your mind, they've changed. You'll be able to see the resonances now. Feel them, just like me. Maya looked around in awe. They were in a forest of towering, bioluminescent trees, their trunks glowing in shades of blue and green, their leaves singing in the gentle wind. In the distance, she could see floating islands rising like mountains from a silver sea. Is this real? Maya breathed. It's real. Sienna took her hand, and Maya felt it, that golden thread, pulsing with warmth and love, connecting them across any distance. It's all real. And it's ours. Maya turned to look at Sienna. Really look at her. Her violet gray eyes, her silver hair, her luminous skin. She was the most beautiful thing Maya had ever seen. She was home. I love you, Maya said. I love you, and I don't care that you're alien, or that we're on another planet, or that my parents probably think I've lost my mind. I love you, and I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Sienna's smile was like the sunrise over 1,000 worlds. I love you too, Maya Chen. From the moment I sat down next to you in that classroom, I loved you. And I will love you across every star, in every timeline, for as long as the universe exists. They kissed again, there in the singing forest of an alien world, wrapped in the light of 1,000 stars. And somewhere in the back of Maya's mind, a new thread appeared, golden and warm, connecting her not just to Sienna, but to everything around her. To the trees, the sky, the floating islands, the very pulse of the planet. Home, she realized, wasn't a place. It was a feeling, a resonance, and she had finally found hers.